Hey guys, welcome back. Now in this video I want to show you
Battle started.
how you can support your teammates who are playing in the front line, right? So for those of you who are familiar on my channel, you'd know that this is the pawn sort of position, and this is where I love to play when playing Supreme Straights, right? So as you can see from this big old text over here, right? My comrades are asking for 4 wind each for the front. Now normally, and more often than not, right, it's usually 3 wins each. But I don't mind, right? I'm gonna build what the team need. So I'm not doing my usual, 3 wind, make a bot lab, and then going for that approach. You'd notice that I even left out building this particular mechs over here as well. And again, that's because with my thought process in this, I want to get these wins made for the team super early. Now, the reason for that is I've played games where, playing on the front lines, I've had comrades say to me, yeah, look, I'll make you win, right? Don't worry about it. But the problem is, you know, they tend to do their wind or their solars, do their lab first, do this, do that, and then eventually start making you the windmills, right? And what you find is quite a fair bit of time has gone by then. And at the front line, you're trying to build units and you're trying to, establish the war zone, so to speak. And then what you find is you're having to end up building those windmills or those solar collectors yourself anyway, right? So it's not always the best. You're kind of relying on somebody else to give you your economy, and you don't know when you're going to get it, right? So sometimes it's very tough. So hence why my philosophy is I'd rather sacrifice a bit of my economy early on just to make sure my brothers in arms have something, right? That they can actively use. Because truthfully, I'm quite safe where I am. I've got no issues early on, because if the enemy is going to attack, they've got two of my squad mates that they have to get through to do so, right? And if they do, I mean, what are they going to get through with at this stage in the game anyway? It's going to be your scout units, right? It's going to be your rovers, your ticks, your wheelies, these types of units, right? Now I have played some more recent games where I have been a victim. I have been a victim indeed of these scout units coming in and giving me grief and causing me headache, right? So one of the things I will be doing is building an LLT here and an LLT up here as well. And what you find is, right, these are going to give me substantial coverage. It's basically just going to deny all of this area here. And that's really, really important, right? And I don't need any more than two. It's gonna be, look, more than enough. More than enough. It's highly unlikely there's gonna be any units coming down this way here and charging, right? I mean, if anything, it's air is always a possibility, and amphibious units coming up from this angle over here. But again, the first strike will be sadly against my squad mates if that does happen. Now, one of the things that I tried to do in this game, right, is get my scout units out early. I feel like ticks are moving much slower, much slower than what they used to do. Guys, let me know if that's indeed true. Right, have the devs kind of change the way the movement speed of the ticks. Now we must have got an eyes on yeah, we know that their comm is there. And maybe we felt a little bit hesitant to actually try and go in for the kill, but we could have done a fair bit of damage. I wasn't really paying too much attention here. Lost the scouts, but ultimately, look, we know the commander's there, right? And if we take off the camera restriction, we can see that he's clearly a bit nervous. He's making walls to deny at least one area of the map. But what you find is, look, his wall is very close to his side of the map, right? So yeah, I mean, what he's saying in effect is, he's giving up all of this pretty much, right? And if we can besiege him, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And what that also means is for Apid, his squad mate, I mean, he's going to struggle to push up because he, you know, you need your fellow squad mate to push up with you. Now, what you notice I'm doing is I'm producing units. What I did, I produced a bunch of pawns, but I'm focusing mainly on rocketeers because I knew the guys making walls, and I know rockets can go over these tier 1 walls, right? So I'm pumping out these rocketeers, and then eventually I want some centurions up there as well, right? I don't think the enemy team's going to be expecting that, and I think that's going to hurt them. Yeah, got my ever trusted construction servant up. Right, don't worry about that, guys. That's to be expected, right? And this is going to now help me build a bit of economy, right? And that is very much needed and important. Now I've set my pawns in. I was hoping I could get enough of a surround on him, do some damage, but look, he's amassed a very healthy army, and these are vehicles, right? So they're always going to pack a bit more of a punch than other units in the game. But again, it's harassment. It's damaging what he has, right? It's not letting him feel comfortable. Yeah, he's doing what he can do in terms of building out those LLTs, right? This has enabled us. Look, Gamer RKS, he's getting in that reclaim of all these lovely rocks, and that's going to give him a nice metal income. I mean, even look, his metal is very good, very good. Look, my rocketeers are coming in. I realized, oh, laser. Because what I wanted to do is get these guys like right up against the wall, because then they can shoot over the wall very easily, right? But I have to respect the LLT. Now I don't think I knew exactly how many there were. I knew I took one out. I can see one more, right? The good thing is, you know, LLTs they don't survive too long against rockets. Now this Wolverine is a problem, yeah, and I feel like I could have taken this thing out quite easily had it not been for these more, you know, assault type vehicles being there. They've done enough to scare me away a little bit here, right? Now I'm microing my units. Now in some of my earlier games, I used to just give the units to my frontline squad mates, right? But I realized that in this game, no, I want to do something a little bit more different. I want to micro them myself and see how much value it brings into the table or not. Because I feel like, you know, my micro game, if you want to call it that, has gotten so much more better over the past like couple of months, right? And this should bring a different dynamic into the fold, right? And put a little less strain on my squad mates. And it will make these guys think and feel, oh damn, we're kind of 2v3 up over here. Even though my commander isn't here, you know, I'm probably, you know, I'm pumping units out, but as you can see from the minimap, not as aggressively as you would do if you were playing Frontline directly. Now I nearly got this guy, nearly got him. Good play by what? Moving that unit out of the way there. This is what I mean. These guys can really hurt my rocketeers, so I have to respect that. You know, I can't just leave my rocketeers there and let them get absolutely annihilated. But if we look on this section of the map, yeah, Gamer's doing fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he's able to move up with vehicles. I think, you know, selecting vehicles definitely the right move here. Looks like both of our frontline players have gone vehicles, right? So vehicles pack a greater punch, more armored, and have a little bit more range than bots. But the mobility isn't there, right? So I think my oof, and he's taken out almost all of his army. Now that is painful. That's gotta hurt, right? I mean, look, Gamer's army got hurt a little bit there as well. But he still has his besieging type unit, artillery units, right? And he's got his missile truck as well. So that is really good, really good. That should give Fake Pilot a bit more of an opportunity to get a foothold in this as well. Now this is tough for the blue team, right? Because they lost a lot of ground, and it's going to be difficult for them to recover. Now, what else am I doing on my base? I've got my energy storage up. I'm utilizing my commander to make my energy converters because I know where I am, metal isn't going to come freely to me, right? So I need to convert what I'm getting from my windmills into metal. Now, shout out to my comrade down in the south, I believe. Yeah, think Cleos. He sent me a construction bot, and he did it with, without me paying him or anything like that. He just kind of did it, and that's brilliant, and that deserves a shout out because that's what I do as well. There's nothing wrong with asking for payment, but it's just a really nice thing where somebody does it for the betterment of the squad rather than behind a paywall. Right, I played another game of Supreme where I was in the blue team, and a squad mate of ours. I mean, he was in the eco position, and asking for payment is fine, but it should really be like, whoever pays, they get the tier 2 con first, right? But this particular player, it was no, you either pay or you don't get them. And the problem with that is that slowed the entire team down because a lot of us just didn't have that, the metal just floating around to be able to pay the guy. And what you found is the enemy team, they absolutely ravaged us because they would have done the sharing and this and that, and yeah, they went into tier 3 and there's nothing we could do. So nothing wrong with asking for payment, but don't make it into one of those things like, you're just not going to give them out to anybody. It's the bad move, wrong move. So what's the good fight is happening here. This is going to be absolutely catastrophic for the blue team if this comes up, right? Likewise with the Armada version is there as well as a bit of a fallback. Sniper. Certainly heard a sniper bot. Yeah. That must be from our, yeah, it is. It is. So Zulcifios has sent a sniper bot in, which is fantastic, right? And we're going to get a lot of value out of this sniper bot, as long as we can get vision. Radar dots are great, but vision would be a million times better. Now, ships is always the other angle when playing in this map, right? It's having a sniper bot is fantastic because you can take these ships out, right? But you got to be careful. You got to micro these units, right? You'd want to have enough sniper bots where you're taking the ship out in one volley of shots, right? Because the likeliness of you getting another round off if you just have one bot is very, very low. Very, very low. Right, looks like we're pushing up ahead significantly, right? We've got a radar bot as well. We've got a radar jammer, perfect. I'm sending in some ticks, right? The ticks are just moving so damn slow. Honestly. Yeah, really, really sad to see, ticks behaving like that. But the idea is I wanted to give the sniper bots vision, right? And ticks was like a not carefree per se, but yeah, all crudeness, carefree, cheap. Get these guys out there because the value we're gonna get from these sniper rounds outweigh the ticks. Look, and it's gonna expose the commander. Look, we know that commander is there. Now, whether we've specifically clocked him like visually, but we're getting vision on this guy. Yeah, look, a couple of sniper rounds have gone off. Yeah, there's me. I've now realized this there. We may take this opportunity to make a push. It all kind of depends, right? But ultimately, we get that vision. The sniper bots, they throw in their shots, and we're gonna be doing super, super well. Now that I've got a nice set of wind farms, right, and a fusion, most importantly, I'm now giving more wind to my frontline players, especially Gamer, because when I had a look at his base, he wasn't growing in his economy as well as Pink, right? And Yeah, fake pilot. So I was like, look, I can't I don't want this guy to suffer, even though his energy is good, and that could be because of the overflow from the rest of the team. But I want to make sure that he's got something, that he's got something just in case, you know, he needs it. Would have loved to have given him a fusion, but I'm not at that stage that I can do so. My metal income now isn't too bad, and that's, you know, largely thanks to me getting that tier 2 bot, right? So that's been super helpful. Anti-nukes are coming up. Always remember that. I tried to put in a place where I can at least provide some coverage to the front base. But yeah, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it's something, right? It's something. What is worrying though is that our backline players haven't built any anti-nuke, right? So, and I do think we put a reminder in the chat letting the team know. So I'm sure they'll be looking to build those out in relatively quick succession. Now I'm lining up a bunch of build power, right? Now I couldn't recall if I was going to go into tier 2 or straight away into tier 3. Oh, there he is. There's no way he's going to live. Absolutely no chance. Boom. I mean, it's almost like that projectile travels so slow, but he could see his life flash before his eyes. Now this is just pure domination now, right? They're getting attacked from both these flanks. There's nothing they can do. Yeah. It's gotta be GG. Has to be. There's not too much the blue team can do at this stage. I mean, what's his income? Oh, his metal is still good. And this geothermo is really doing super for him. I mean, if we can pop this off, that's the entire base con, right? Build power goes down, but these are just ticks anyway. You know, not super intensive for builds. My Centurions are going in, and again, this is to get or keep Green out of the fight. I didn't want him to go in and go up north and spoil the party, right? I didn't expect my units to live at all, but it would have been enough. Now that I wasn't expecting, but yo, shout out to the sniper bots. Geothermal, advanced geo goes down, out. Now Green is going to be in a lot of trouble. Look, I mean, metal income's still decent, to be fair. Energy ain't too bad neither. You got wow, light blue, sky blue, pastel blue. He's come all up in here. There's not too much he can do. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have him this close. I mean, after what you've seen happen to your squad mate, you don't want to be that blast that knocks down the rest of the base there. And that's GG, guys. Super push. Our frontline players did really well, right? And I hope from this video, what you're taking from this is how you can support your frontline players, right? So just because you're supporting them doesn't mean that you can't grow neither. As you can see, look, I'm getting my geos up. I had an anti-nuke up, right? I was converting energy into metal, got some more build power up, and I could have easily put a tier 2 base in there and pumped out units, or I could have used this to e-carp a little bit more and then boom, go straight into tier 3, right? And do some fun plays that you might have seen from some of my other videos where you could send in amphibious units down here and, you know, assault the enemy team through various angles, right? Or even, you know, make an air lab and go for a bombing run yourself even, right? So there's lots of things you could do playing in this position, but numero uno priority is supporting the front, and this is how you could do it effectively. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.